Rutgers coach Mike Rice has been fired from his job. He was the basketball coach, and he recently got fired after ESPN aired a video of him being very aggressive with the players, both verbally and physically. Now, this video was apparently shown to Tim Parenti, who is the athletics director at Rutgers, back in November. But all he wanted to do was suspend Rice for a part of the season, and he's getting a lot of criticism for that. I really want to show you guys a quick video from Fox News. Eric Bolling talks about the situation. Let's hear what he had to say.
This story kind of infuriates me. We're in the midst of political correctness crushing our ability to teach kids, to discipline kids, to disagree with people or one another or kids. Our culture is in decline, but this is an example of our culture in free fall. And I'm saying because he got fired, not because of what he did. Look, there's no question he should never have used gay slurs. That's against all rules. But I'm not sure that's what got him fired. I think going after one of the kids is what got him fired. Listen, it's time to toughen up. I talk about the wussification of America, wussification of American men. This is it. I got a paddle in high school. I did something wrong once in gym, and they take a paddle. It's a sawed-off bat, it's flat on one side, and they whack you in the butt across the back of the legs. I'll tell you what, I never messed around in that class again. Are we better off as a nation now with all the PC and with all the wimpifying, wussificating, and basically making men chihuahuas?
Oh, okay, here's the part I don't believe the most, that he never did anything wrong again. Oh, he loved that paddle. He wanted to come back for that paddle over and over. That's my sense of it.
What is up with conservatives' obsession with beating people? Like, yeah, let's beat our kids. Let's beat our athletes. Let's make them men.
Yeah, if you don't throw a basketball at my kid's head, then you're leading to the wussification of the country. I don't know, bounds of reason, man. And look, if the guy was a little rough and he's taking a guy and showing him, here's how you do a pick, and he grabs him and he moves him over here on the court. Fine, nobody's wailing basketballs at kids' heads.
Shoving them around.
And that doesn't make them tougher, okay? That's a dumb thing to do. And then what's he going to learn from that? He's going to learn that the way you resolve conflicts is you throw basketballs at people's heads.
And there were reports that Rice would basically call his players, quote, faggots and cunts.
Wow, I didn't hear the C word.
He would, be physically abusive with them.
Well, look, way out of bounds. But that's not the interesting part to me. I mean, that's crazy, right? The interesting part is the part of the athletic director. So now the person who's in charge of managing the personnel on the team is the one who does the tape, right? And he brings it to the athletic director saying, this guy's out of control. So you know what they do? They go, oh, thanks for bringing that up. You're fired.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, look, they didn't technically fire him. They said his contract was up and they were going to let him go because of insubordination. In other words, insubordination for turning in the asshole coach, right? So I think that's the most outrageous part of this story. So they made up an excuse about how he went to some camp at the wrong date. BS, that has nothing to do with it, okay? Now, the athletic director says, hey, wait a minute. Look, I want to be a forgiving person, and so I suspended him and I took away significant salary, etc. But I thought maybe, this could be a learning experience and he could get beyond it, etc. Now that the video is out, gone. They fired him the next day. So what's interesting about that is that they're not making the decision based on what happened. They're making the decision based on we got caught.
Definitely, right. Definitely. So he's, in essence, not standing by his original decision, and it's an admission that his original decision was a bad one. Because if you have an abusive coach who's literally physically, I don't know if he ever hurt any of the players, but if you're physical with the players and you're using words like faggot and cunt to talk to them, we have a problem. You shouldn't have that kind of coach, especially in an educational environment. And
it's a triple whammy in the case of Rutgers. So first of all, you have the gay slurs and out of control insults. Now, if you just had insults towards the players, that isn't going to be anything. If you had, if he used the C word but not the F word, maybe he gets away with it, whatever, right? But then you combine that with the physical abuse.
Yep.
And you're in a world of trouble. And then the third part of it is, it's at Rutgers, where it was an enormous national story about how a gay kid at Rutgers got bullied and then jumped off a bridge. And you're going to be throwing the F word around, and he called them fairies and all this stuff constantly in practice. Now, look, this happened between 2010 and 2012. So a lot of it happened before the kid, ever jumped off the bridge, to be fair. But the athletic director knows that. and he's going to keep that guy on campus until, of course, he's discovered. So now the athletic director did some good work in terms of winning and getting to bowl games in the football side. They got into the conference they want. Obviously, they're very reluctant to let him go because of that, because they think he's good at his job. But now you got a guy who was covering up for this other guy, and it would have been understandable if he hadn't thrown the guy who revealed it under the bus. And when you put all that together, I think he's got to go.